If you thought that voting in the election was the most important election results this year, you've got another thing coming, because People Magazine has released their sexiest list. Now, we, of course, I myself, I have applied for multiple categories, okay? I applied for sexiest first-time dad, didn't win.
What are we doing?
And I also applied for sexiest podcast host, and of course, didn't win.
What are we doing?
And so it's fine. We were basically the runner-up. We have an inside source, okay? We talked to people. We talked to some people at People Magazine, and basically when it came down to the numbers, you know what I mean? We unfortunately did not win the title of People Magazine Sexiest Podcast Host. Maybe next year. We didn't really push it all this much. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be this thing where like on social media all day, every day, vote for me, hashtag vote for me, like all day, every day on social media. I didn't want to do that. And basically, I decided that, I would just let it ride. I would let the people decide who know about the voting to vote. And if I was, in fact, voted People Magazine's sexiest first-time dad and or sexiest podcast host, then it would just be a different type of episode open this week, wouldn't it? But it's not, because we didn't win. But we asked, and I said, we've got people on the inside, and we got some numbers, and we came pretty freaking close, dude. We came in third place.
What are we doing?
Now, of course, they don't have room in the magazine because of all the other winners and things and advertisements that they need to put in the magazine. We obviously don't make it in the magazine third place. First and second, of course, in each category, but third place never gets mentioned. We, of course, were one away from being mentioned. So we got third place. And you know what I mean? That's not for nothing. So being the third sexiest People Magazine, sexiest podcast host in America is a pretty solid accomplishment.
What are we doing?
Pretty solid. And so after hearing this news, you'll never freaking guess what happened. After hearing this news, after finding out, I don't know how they found out, but I would imagine that the A-list celebrities in Hollywood, especially those, surrounding themselves with the likes of Channing Tatum, I would say that they probably have some of the same, if not better, sources than me. So unfortunately, once Zoe Kravitz found out that I was ranked third in the Sexiest Podcast Host People's Magazine competition, it was pretty much donezo for her and Channing Tatum.
What are we doing?
And so she immediately left him. They announced their split publicly. I wasn't, again, going to get involved. I wasn't publicly involved in the announcement of the winnings for People Magazine. I didn't want to be involved in the breakup story. I knew TMZ would be all over me and the life and the boy in the house, and it wasn't good. So I asked Zoe, I said, hey, don't mention me. Let's keep our relationship private. And so basically, it's been a whirlwind of a week. With Halloween yesterday, we went out trick-or-treating, of course. I was butter because I'm always on a roll, dude.
What are we doing?
Megs was sexy Megsy Wegsy Donuts, and she had the glasses and the costume, and the boy, of course, was none other than Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? Didn't want to be Jack. Homeboy wanted to be Sally. He was adorable. He did it. He went up to the doors. He said please and thank you to every single freaking person.
What are we doing?
And, because he's just polite like that. And so he had a blast, and it was a killer time, man. We had a great time. We were nervous. It's essentially our first official Halloween. But you know what I mean? And so I didn't want, with the news of the People Magazine thing and Zoe and the breakup and me involved and just the whole thing. I just kind of wanted some peace for my family for the next few days. So I asked Zoe, don't involve me in the Channing Tatum breakup. We'll go public with our relationship when I'm ready, AKA right now.
What are we doing?
So, you know what I mean? Megs didn't know until this morning. I had to break it to her, obviously, because of me. I had to record this today, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You understand. It's complicated. When you're ranked anywhere from like the 10th to the 1st, anywhere in the middle of those two numbers in People Magazine's sexiest blank of category, your life just it becomes a jumbled mess. This happens every year. I mean, you guys remember, I think it was episode, I don't know, we probably weren't even at episode 100. It's probably like episode 80 or something, when People Magazine, I think back in 2022, had the competition. I think, overall voted the sexiest. I think that's what we won that year, right?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I think that's what we ended up winning. So just another plaque on the wall. You know what I mean? Success for us. 3rd this year. It's fine. Listen, did we fall off a little bit? Yeah. Am I up 3 or 4 pounds? Yeah. Will I lose them eventually, dude? Yeah, I will. So, like, it's fine, okay? 3rd place is fine. We'll take it. I'm not going to lose. I'll lose a little bit of sleep. But other than that, it's, I'm grateful for the folks over at People Magazine. And shout out to my girl Zoe. You know what I mean? As always, shout out to Zoe.